Esteban, this is GF Laserbolt from GamerFusion.com, and what is going on, guys? Today we are back to the grind at Road to 335. So, quick update: my Warlock is currently 331, Hunter is 328, and my Titan is 328 as well. And I wanted to, before we started today's stream, I wanted to make a video because I've been getting the question asked multiple times, not only on Twitter, but also on YouTube when we're streaming. Is how do you reach level 335? How are you so high level already? So, wanted to make this quick video for you guys. Once again, big shout out to everybody that's currently watching the stream. And we're going to go ahead and cover that real quick on how do you reach that high level. So thank you guys, everybody that tuned into the stream. So first and foremost, you're going to want to select which character you're going to want to be the highest level. The reason you're going to be doing that is because you're going to be using your other characters to reach that high level. So for my personal preference, I usually play out my Warlock, so I will select my Warlock to be my main character for this high level ranking. So what you're going to want to do is, after you have a character selected, you are going to want to go ahead and use each character to hit max light level. So before that, let me explain exactly how the system works. So let's say you started off at 320, right? You haven't grinded at all this week and you're at 320. This is just for example references. You're at 320 and you want to reach at least 330 by the weekend, or before Trials comes out or whatnot. So the way it works is, anytime you do any event from 320, the crypting of any sort of exotic engram, or running a strike, or running a mission, or doing PoE, doing anything like that, is always going to go up 5 points. So for example, let's say you're 320, you go do Prison of Elders. If you get any gear, the gear will only go up to the highest max it could go up to is 325. So if you're looking to get to a higher light level, you won't be getting to a higher light level if you don't increase your level. So basically, if you go do your PoE, you know how you get a gun and you get a chest piece. If you go ahead and you do those and you're 320, you won't be able to get anything higher than 325. So what you're going to want to do is the following. So what I recommend you guys doing is, let's say you have a fresh character and you have enough motes of light. First and foremost, what I would do is, if I'm already 320, I would run one PoE with one of my characters. Why would I run it with one of my characters? Run it with the character that you're lowest, that you do not want to be your main. So for example, let's say I want my my Warlock to be my main. I'm gonna run the PoE with my Titan as a 320. Once I run the PoE with my Titan, I complete the pretty much the PoE, and I completed the 90,000 PoE. Then that's gonna give me a weapon and a chest piece. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna grab that weapon, I'm gonna grab that chest piece, transfer it over to my Warlock, and increase the value of my weapon. For this case, let's say I got a 324 weapon and a 323 chest piece. I'm gonna go ahead, place that on my Warlock, and boost my Warlock light level to at least 322. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead, hop on my Hunter, and do the PoE again. I'm gonna get either another weapon and another armor, get that armor, place it on my Warlock. So around this time, my Warlock should be at least 325 or 324, around that stat. Once your Warlock gets around that stat, 324, 325, what you're going to want to do is, you're going to go ahead and go into the pretty much the Patrol the Dreadnought, go to the Court of Oryx, and try to get an artifact. Remember, the same rule applies if you're already 324 or 323 around that time. You're only going to be able to go up 5 points. So if you go Patrol the Dreadnought, you're going to get a drop of an artifact from at least 5 points further up. So that's going to be if you're already 324, you're only going to be able to get, the highest one would be 329. So you probably get 326, 327. Run a few Court of Oryx, get as many artifacts as you can, because you could also transfer them to other characters and level those up. So around this time, after you did the Dreadnought, you did the PoE, you should be at least 324 or 325. Now it's time to get on your main character and go do the PoEs, because then your Warlock is already at 324, 325, around there. You're going to be able to do the PoE, and this should give you, if you're already 325, it should give you gear either from 325 upwards to 330. So once you finish the PoE and you have all that taken care of,
This is amazing.
you'll have a extra weapon, you'll have a extra pair of chest armor, or boots, or whatever it is that you get, whatever gear you get. Once you have that already done, you should at least be 325, 326, 327. Once again, go back into the Dreadnought and go get a higher level artifact. Once you do that, you're going to go to the tower, and around this time, you probably have a bunch of engrams, right? You probably have purple engrams, you have blue engrams. The only problem with these engrams is they do not decrypt to this, they don't apply to this +5 count. They don't apply to that. So you're going to be careful with that. What you're going to want to do is be popping a 3 of coins every time you're doing PoE and save the exotic engrams. Why would you want to save the exotic engrams and not decrypt them? Because the exotic engrams apply to this rule of thumb. If you get an exotic engram and you decrypt the exotic engram, that exotic engram will decrypt 5 points higher. So let's say you finished the PoE,
This is
went already,
amazing.
you went back, you went ahead, picked up the artifact, and that's taken care of. All you got to do now is go back to the tower, get all the exotic engrams you've been able to collect on your Titan, on your Hunter, and on your Warlock from running the PoE, which should be about 3 or 4 that you probably picked up from each boss. Because it's usually kind of like the drop rate. Once you go ahead, get all those exotic engrams as your Warlock, now that he's like 325 or 327, you're going to go ahead and decrypt each individual exotic. Now, the rule of thumb applies this way. So let's say I have an exotic engram, and I look at my inventory of my Warlock at the current moment, right? You're going to want to go ahead and look at what has the lowest stat. So for example, right now you see my boots, they're 320, right? That's this lowest stat, boots. If I have an exotic engram for the boots, I am gonna want to go ahead and decrypt a boot engram exotic. The reason why is because it's going to give me the highest output for that specific gear. So decrypt that exotic engram and then do the same thing with each individual stat that you have the lowest light level on. So around this time you should be around my light level, like at least 328. Once you're 328, if you have motes of light, you're gonna go to your faction vendor, and let's, for my example, mine is the New Monarchy. I wasted a bunch of motes of light, but for me, you're gonna go over to your faction vendor and just rank his reputation up. He will be ahead and giving you either chest piece, weapons around. If you're 328, you should be getting weapons that are at least 328, 329, 331, 330, or 332. So go ahead, level him up, and he will be dropping weapons. Hopefully you have enough motes of light. As you see right now, I wasted all my motes of light, so I only have 11. But if you should have enough motes of light, go ahead and level him up, and he will be giving that.
Remember,
One point I do want to give you guys is after you've done all of this, you should be at least 330 or 328 around this time. Once you're that light level, what you're going to want to do is run strikes and run the Crucible. But one tip I want to give you guys is when you run strikes, I'm pretty sure some of you will have in your inventory any of these boosters right here. So this is a Vanguard booster, this is a House of Judgment booster, this is a Crucible Reputation booster. Now, these boosters, what they'll do is they'll help you gain XP level for that specific faction. So, not faction, but that specific yeah, I would say faction. So we're going to go here, go to our quest line, and we're going to see our reputation for each individual faction. For instance, the Crucible, if I pop that one, I should be able to get a package every time this levels up, or every time this one levels up. Right now, if I run a couple strikes, this is going to level up, and if I do some Crucible, that's going to level up. Those are going to give me packages. Those packages will go ahead and give you either a weapon or gear, and if you guys are high in light level, then you will be getting a gear 5+. So once you're 331 or 328 or 3 whatever it is that you are after doing this, if you should probably be at least no less than 328. Once you're 328, it's time to move on and do this strat. What you're going to want to do is go into the raid and run the raid as your lowest character, as your Titan. Run it, get the gear, once again transfer it over to your Warlock, upgrade him, run the raid with your Hunter, once again grab that gear, transfer it over to your Warlock. Once your Warlock is probably like around 331, 332 around this time for you to do the raid, hop on your Warlock, do the raid. You should be at least 332 to 334, or if you're lucky and get good RNG, to 335. So once you're let's say you're 334 at this moment, All you have to do is keep running strikes, keep running Crucible, and bam, 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 you are 335 and you are ready for Trials of Osiris and for any other high-end level activity. Well, guys, I hope that was helpful and informative. It was. Make sure you guys leave a comment and a like. And don't forget, guys, for all things Destiny, head over to GamerFusion.com where we empower your gaming.